Hello, my lovely wolf pack, and welcome to the Lone Wolf Show, brought to you by Wolfpack Media, the most entertaining place on YouTube for your news and commentary. I'm your host, Justin Huseman, founder and news contributor. We have a great show today, and I can't wait to get started. But before we do, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. Join the pack today. All right, guys. So, how many dudes did Diddy diddle if Diddy did diddle dudes? That's right, guys. Today we are going to be talking about the infamous Diddy trial. Uh, as we all know, late last year, music mogul Sean Diddy Combs was indicted on allegations of sexual assault and human trafficking. Well, this week, jury selection for the trial has begun, and things are getting wild, to say the least. Let's go ahead and take a look at the news here, and see if we can break this story down. All right, from CBS News. Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial is underway. Here's what to know about the charges, evidence, and more. All right. Sean Diddy Combs, the music mogul accused of sexually assaulting, trafficking, and otherwise exploiting women in recurring incidences over multiple decades, is standing trial in New York City this month. Jury selection began Monday, and opening statements are scheduled to follow on May 12th. So that trial will be starting here. That's like what, next week? This week? Wow. Combs, 55, faces multiple charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. He has been jailed since September when he was ordered held without bail. Wow, without bail. He has pleaded not guilty, and at his final pretrial hearing rejected a plea deal. As the trial gets underway in Manhattan federal court, here's what to know. Combs will be tried on 5 charges. One of the most powerful figures in hip hop, Combs is accused of running a criminal enterprise with help from associates and employees since at least 2004. I would argue since way before that. But I digress. That engaged in or attempted to engage in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson. I had, what the fuck? When did he start fires? Bribery, obstruction of justice, and other offenses, according to an indictment. Oh boy, I didn't know about the arson thing. Like, yeah, forced labor, bribery. Like, the only thing I really knew, honestly, about this whole thing, if I'm gonna be real honest, is the gallons and gallons of lube that they found at his house. That's really the only information that I had prior to doing this video on this. Anyway, Combs was initially charged in September of 2024 with 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 1 count of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and 1 count of transportation for purposes of prostitution. A superseding indictment brought 2 additional counts, 1 of sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion, and 1 of transportation for purposes of prostitution against him in early April. Okay. The indictment alleges Combs engaged in a persistent and pervasive pattern of abuse towards women and other individuals. Other individuals, you mean dudes? How many dudes did Diddy diddle? It accuses him of manipulating women into participating in commercial sex acts with him and sometimes with male sex workers. Okay, so male sex workers were involved here too. Gay. He allegedly arranged for women and sex workers to be flown to him. The acts I can't talk today, as per usual. The acts with sex workers, which prosecutors say Combs called freak-offs. Yeah, the freak-offs. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. Are described in the indictment as elaborate performances that Combs directed and often filmed with or without participants' consent. Oh, interesting. Prosecutors have alleged the events involved excessive drug use. Yeah, that's obvious. In part to keep the victims obedient and compliant, and sometimes lasted multiple days. What the fuck are you doing, Diddy? Multiple days. That's a one hell of a freak off. Holy crap, you gotta be. He's 55 years old. He's gotta be pretty vigorous to go on freak off for multiple days. Combs is also accused of assaulting women repeatedly over many years by striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects at, and or kicking them. The indictment said the violence extended to his employees and people who witnessed his alleged abuse. Prosecutors say in one instance, Combs is accused of dangling a victim over an apartment balcony. Jesus Christ. According to the indictments, wild shit happens in Hollywood, man. This shit's fucking weird. In addition to abuse, Combs allegedly maintained control over victims with money, drugs, and threats to their careers, among other means. Prosecutors also allege Combs used bribes and blackmail to hide evidence of his conduct. It just kind of goes on to name all the crimes he's being accused of. We'll kind of skip through some of this. Blah, 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 blah. If Combs is found guilty on all counts, he could face up to life in prison. Jeez. He has pleaded not guilty to each of the charges against him. His attorneys have said the allegations against him came from former long-term girlfriends, who were involved in consensual relationships. Okay, that's why you're in jail, bud. This was their private sex life defined by consent, not coercion, the defense said in a statement in April following the superseding indictment. Oh boy, and I guess here they have an instance. I actually think I might have heard about this thing back in 2016, the 2016 hotel security video, a security tape showing Combs attacking his then girlfriend, R&B singer Cassandra Ventura. Yeah, I think I remember this. Huh. Yeah, this was a wild story back then. This is when people really started looking at Diddy like, what the fuck is he up to? Who performs under the name Cassie? I have no idea who this lady is though. Say that she's an R&B singer. I ain't never heard of her. In 2016 is expected to serve as a key piece of evidence for prosecutors during the trial. The video shows Combs throwing Ventura to the floor in a hallway of a Los Angeles hotel, kicking her and dragging her. CNN obtained and published the footage last year following public allegations of physical and sexual violence against Combs. So this happened. I swore I seen something on this. Maybe it was a different thing that I seen Diddy doing. Ventura accused Combs of rape and physical abuse in a lawsuit in November of 2023 that was settled the day after she filed. It was settled the day after she filed it. The lawsuit also alleges Combs paid the hotel $50,000 for the 2016 security footage. Jesus. Combs apologized for his behavior seen in the video, but denied the allegations of the lawsuit. How are you going to deny it? It's on video, bro. Prosecutors contend The assault in the video happened during a freak off. Combs's lawyers, who tried to convince the judge to exclude it from the trial, argue the footage was nothing more than a glimpse into a complex but decade-long consensual relationship. They're just calling it these fucking lawyers, dude. It's just a complex relationship. He was just beating her in a fucking hotel. It's just a complex and consensual, yeah, because people can consent to being kicked the shit out of, I guess. um let's see. U.S. District Attorney Aran Subramanian. Why do people have such weird last names? It's like, isn't there any like John Smiths out there anymore? Like fucking I feel like every time I'm reading these articles and I have to read somebody's name, it's like some unpronounceable garbly gook. But as you guys know, if you're a frequent to this channel, Justin can't pronounce names. All right. Anyway, its relevance to the case outweighs any potential prejudice to Combs, the judge said. All right, and this is a little bit more recent here. The jury selection. 12 jurors and 6 alternates will be chosen for the trial. Prospective jurors were asked if they had been aware of the case, if they have any experience with sexual assault or domestic violence, what their views on law enforcement are, how they view hip-hop artists, and what their feelings about having multiple partners are, among other questions. Jesus God. I hate how like jury selection goes about, like what stupid questions that have nothing to do with like whether or not this dude is like doing bad shit. They were also given a lengthy list of people and places and asked if they recognized any of the names, which included rapper Kanye West, who now goes by Ye, rapper Kid Cudi, actor Michael B. Jordan, actor Mike Myers, singer Aubrey O'Day, and Ventura, Combs' ex-girlfriend and one of his accusers. It was not immediately clear how all the people on the list will be referenced, if at all, during the trial. Ahead of jury selection, Combs' legal team and prosecutors disregard on what to include in the questionnaire used to elevate potential jurors. In court filings, Combs' attorneys argued that prosecutors' proposed questionnaire did not explore at all the prejudice and biases that are central to an effective inquiry to seating a fair jury, nor acknowledge the unprecedented and negative media attention they may have been exposed to related to Mr. Combs. They requested that jurors be questioned about their views regarding sex, drugs, violence, and people with multiple sexual partners. Prosecutors criticized the defense proposed questionnaire as too long and touching on subjects that would be better asked in person by the judge, if at all. Yeah, I agree. They said some of the questions were utterly irrelevant to the ability to serve on a jury. Yeah, I agree. Some of those questions were like, what the fuck? Like, why does it matter if they know who like rappers are? Like, are you okay? Well, that's all there is there. So I guess the big news in this whole case is that hopefully names will, be revealed of prominent individuals that might have been involved in some of these things. Like there's tons of theories on what's going on here. Like possibly Diddy being like an Epstein figure where he was being used by intelligence agencies to like basically blackmail high profile individuals and whatnot. And it's being said that this case could bring down Hollywood, the music industry in particularly. I hope so. That'd be super cool, but I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about this whole crazy things. Did Diddy diddle dudes? Let us know down below in the comments. But for now, we'll leave it there. Stay tuned for our nightly segment of the Lone Wolf Show. That'll be on later. Make sure you follow us on X and Facebook. You can follow us on Rumble as well if you prefer that over YouTube. And make sure you subscribe to us here on YouTube at Wolfpack Media 92. And we will see you guys later in the next episode. Peace.